Hello. Alright, so I'm basically recording this video for anyone that couldn't quite understand the notes. So this video is on adding, subtracting, or multiplying matrices. So actually adding and subtracting are really easy. I feel that multiplication is probably going to be the hardest for some of you. So if you wanted to skip to that multiplication part in this video, that's fine. But if you guys don't know how to add and subtract, just follow along. Okay. So, adding and subtracting matrices. So the key to adding and subtracting matrices is that when you're adding or subtracting, the dimensions of the matrices have to be the same. So for example, this is read as a 2 by 2 matrix because there's 2 rows and 2 columns, 2 by 2 matrix. This here is read as a 3 by 2 matrix because we have 3 rows and 2 columns. So as long as the dimensions are the same, you can add 2 by 2 matrices together. As long as the dimensions are the same, then you can subtract 3, in this case 3 by 2 matrices. But anyway, here we go. Right, so let's say we want to add these matrices. So you just look at the corresponding elements, and that's basically how you do it. So 5 plus 1 is going to be 6. Okay? Negative 3 plus 2, this goes into the top right hand corner here. So this is negative 1. 6 plus 3 is what goes in the bottom left hand corner here, and that's 9. Negative 6 plus negative 4 is going to be negative 10, and that's what goes in the bottom right hand corner. This is our final answer. That's it. Okay. Next one, for subtracting matrices. Okay, so same idea for this one. Our output, what we're going to produce, is a 3 by 2 matrix. So just take the corresponding elements. 1 minus 5 is going to be a negative 4. Negative 4 goes in the top right hand corner. 3 minus 2 is 1. 2 minus negative 1. Remember, if you ding dong this, the two negatives become positive. So 2 plus 1 is 3. Okay. 4 minus 10. So this is going to be negative 6. 0 minus 4 will get you a negative 4. And 5 minus a negative 7. So that's 5 plus 7 is going to be 12. And that's it. That's basically all you have to do when you're adding or subtracting matrices. Okay. Alright. The next ones are on multiplication. Multiplication is a little bit tougher. Okay, so in order to do multiplication, the columns in this row, in this matrix, and the rows in this matrix, they have to be the same in order to multiply them together. So, for example, this is a 2 by 2 matrix, and this is a 2 by 2 matrix. So because the columns here for this matrix is the same as the number of rows in this matrix, this means our output is going to be a 2 by 2 matrix. So we know it's going to have a number here, 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 here. Okay, so now what we need to do is I'm going to go ahead and solve this. So we know our output is going to be a 2 by 2 matrix. Okay, so I'm just gonna, let's see, I think this is better if I just show you. I'm just going to erase this. Okay. So if you need to rewind, please rewind if you want to see that. But I'm just going to basically show you how this is done. Okay, so in order to multiply matrices together, so you take these two numbers, multiply together, 1 times 2. So I'm just going to write that in write that in this notation so I can kind of see what I'm keeping track of. So 1 times 2 plus 0 times -1. Okay, that's what goes in the top left-hand corner. You'd have to evaluate this, and that would be your answer. So next one. So I'm going to do this corner here. So 1 times -3, 1 times -3, plus 0 times 8. Okay? Now the next one. So this would go in this corner. 4 times 2 plus 5 times -1. For this here, it's going to be 4 times -3, 4 times -3, plus 5 times 8. Okay? So, like we said earlier, because this is a 2 by 2 matrix, and this is a 2 by 2 matrix, since these numbers are the same, our output is going to be a 2 by 2 matrix. Okay? So what we need to do is we need to simplify this. So this is 1 times 2 is 2. 2 plus 0 is going to be 2. 1 times -3 is -3. 0 times 8 is 0. This is -3. 4 times 2 is 8. 8 plus 5 times -1 is going to be 8 minus 5. So this is 3. 4 times -3 is -12. -12 plus 40 is going to be 28. Okay? And that is how you would multiply these matrices together. A little bit tougher. Okay? Next one. Right? So let's say we're given this. Okay? So what we have here is we have to look at the dimensions of each matrix. So this is a 2 by 3 matrix because there's 2 rows and there's 3 columns. This matrix has 3 rows and 1 column. So again, what I showed you earlier here is the number of columns in this matrix has to be the same as the number of rows in this matrix. So this means our output is going to be a 2 by 1 matrix. So it's going to look like this. So there's going to be a number here, and there's going to be a number here. Okay? So if you need to go back and watch that, you can go and watch it. But we're going to just plow through this. So we know, if we said earlier, this is going to be a 2 by 1 matrix. So it's going to look something like this. And I'm just going to leave some space here so I have enough room. Okay? So what we need to do is we need to take this number, 13 times 20. 13 times 20. That's what goes here. Okay, next one, we're adding. So 42 times 5 plus 16 times 40. Okay, all right. So again, this is going to be a 2 by 1 matrix. This is what goes on the top. Next one, 15 times 20. Next, this is 45 times 5. This is 18 times 40. Okay? So, like we said earlier, this is a 2 by 3 matrix. This matrix here is a 3 by 1 matrix. Because these numbers are the same, our output that we are creating is going to be a 2 by 1 matrix. Okay? So now what we do is we need to simplify this. So 13 times 20, I'm just going to use a calculator honestly. 13 times 20 is going to be 260. 42 times 5 is going to be 210. 16 times 40 is going to, should be 640, I believe. Just double checking. 640. Okay. 15 times 20 is 300. 45 times 5, I believe that's gonna be like 225 or something. Yep. 225. 18 times 40 should be 720. Okay, so now what we do is we just need to add it up. Add it up. So 260 plus 210 plus 640. 1110. Okay. Now 300 plus 225 plus 720. And this is 1245. Okay. And that's how you would do that one. Last one. Okay. Let's say we have something like this. Okay. So what we have here is this is a 1 by 2 matrix. This matrix here is a 2 by 3 matrix. So because the columns here, the columns for this matrix is the same as the number of rows in this matrix, this means we're going to create a 1 by 3 matrix. So it has 1 row and 3 columns. So our output is going to look something like this. Okay, keep that in mind. I'm going to erase it so I just have some sort of idea what we're doing. Okay, so now what we need to do is we need to go ahead and simplify this. Okay, so what I see here is 2 times 4. This is what goes here. 2 times 4 plus 5 times 1. That's what goes in that first element. Okay. This one, 2 times negative 2 plus 5 times 0. Okay. Then we got to create one more. 2 times 3 plus 5 times 7. Okay. So what we can do is we can simplify this. So what I showed you earlier, right? So this is a 1 by 2 matrix. This matrix here is a 2 by 3 matrix. So because the number of columns here is the same as the number of rows for this matrix, we are creating a 1 by 3 matrix. Okay, so put this all together. 2 times 4 is 8. 8 plus 5 times negative 1, so it's going to be 8 minus 5. 8 minus 5 is 3. Okay, 2 times negative 2 is going to be negative 4. Negative 4 plus 0 is going to be negative 4. Okay, 2 times 3 is 6. 6 plus 35 is going to be 41. We have our 1 by 3 matrix. Okay. And that's pretty much it to it. Okay? Alright, so let me know if you have any questions. Bye.